Hello, you're watching VNA News Bulletin. I'm Nguyen Phu Trong and now the headlines.
Mr. Nguyen Phu Trong re-elected as state president. ASEAN foreign ministers concerned over EC issue. Central Bank forecast interest rate remains stable.
Mr. Nguyen Phu Trong was re-elected as President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam for the 2016 to 2021 tenure during a plenum of the 14th National Assembly in Hanoi on July 25th.
Among 487 of the 494 NA deputies present at the plenary session, 485 lawmakers, or 98.18% of the total legislators, agreed to choose him for the presidency by secret ballot. Later, the parliament approved a resolution on electing the president with 97.98% of the votes approving. In the following swearing-in ceremony, President Nguyen Phu Trong promised to absolutely be loyal to the fatherland, the people, and the Constitution of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and make concerted efforts to fulfill the tasks assigned by the party, the state, and the people. In his inaugural address, President vowed to devote himself to serving the fatherland and the people, and will closely coordinate with the NA, the government, and relevant agencies to perform his duties, proactively engage in fine-tuning the legal system, and improve the management effectiveness of the socialist law-governed state that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. The President also pledged to ensure the building of revolutionary, regular, elite, and modern armed forces so as to firmly safeguard the country's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, along with political stability and peaceful national development. He also worked hard to promote the Great National Unity Bloc, comprehensive reforms, and proactive integration, while raising Vietnam's stature and prestige in the world.
Prime Minister Nguyen Phu led a delegation of Vietnamese officials to the Laos embassy in Vietnam on July 25th to pay tribute to the late former chairman of the National Assembly of Laos, Saman Vinaket.
Vinaket was the former Politburo member and former head of the Steering Committee for Ideology, Theory and Culture of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party Central Committee. The Prime Minister wrote in the book of condolences to express his mourning for the death of the former Lao leader, saying that Vinaket's death is a great loss for the Lao party, state and people, as well as his family, while Vietnam has lost a close friend who contributed to fostering friendship between two countries. The same day, Party General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong sent a wreath to the ceremony. Delegations from the party's Central Committee's Commissions for External Affairs and Information Education, the Presidential Office, and the National Assembly Office, those from the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and National Defense, among others, also paid tribute to the late leader at the ceremony at the embassy.
The 49th ASEAN Foreign Minister meeting released a joint communique in Vientiane, Laos on July 24th, showing the ministers' serious concern over the recent and ongoing developments in the EC.
The joint communique also took note on the concerns expressed by some ministers on the land reclamations and escalation of activities in the area, which have eroded trust and confidence, increased tensions, and may undermine peace, security, and stability in the region. It reaffirmed the importance of maintaining and promoting peace, security, stability, safety, and freedom of navigation in and over flight above the East Sea. It further reaffirmed the need to enhance mutual trust and confidence, exercise self-restraint in the conduct of activities, and avoid actions that may further complicate the situation, and pursue peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with international law, including the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The ministers emphasized the importance of non-militarization and self-restraint in the conduct of all activities, including land reclamation that could further complicate the situation and escalate tensions in the East Sea. They underscored the importance of the full and effective implementation of the Declaration on Conduct of the Parties in the East Sea, DOC, in its entirety, and urged all parties to work expeditiously for the early adoption of an effective code of conduct, including through increasing the frequency of ASEAN Channel senior officials meetings and joint working group meetings on the implementation of the DOC.
The Vietnamese community in the Republic of Korea staged a peaceful demonstration in front of the Chinese embassy in Seoul on July 24th to oppose China's illegal activities in the East Sea.
On behalf of the demonstration, Chairman of the Association of Lee Hwa-sun Families Descendants Lee Thu-vinh read a statement of the Vietnamese community in the Republic of Korea, which affirms Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa archipelagos and raises objections to China's recent illegal acts in the East Sea, which violated Vietnam's sovereignty and sovereign rights, threatened marine, aviation safety, and regional security, as well as infringe international laws. The statement lost the Permanent Court of Arbitration's ruling on July 12, which rejected China's claims for historic rights over waters within the so-called 9-dash line in the East Sea. The demonstrators also handed over the statement, which was translated into Vietnamese, Korean, and Chinese, to the Chinese embassy in the Republic of Korea.
Japanese Coast Guard training ship Cosima with 94 crew members on board arrived at Dien Sa port in the center city of Da Nang on July 25th, beginning its 5-day official visit to Vietnam.
During their stay, the ship's captain, Hiroyuki Naroka, and crew will pay courtesy visits to senior officials of the High Command of the Vietnam Coast Guard, the Da Nang People's Committee, and the High Command of the Marine Police Region 2. They will also visit the Maritime Search and Rescue Coordination Center Region 2. The visit of Cosima provides a good opportunity for the two forces to exchange experience and strengthen their cooperation and mutual understanding. This is the fourth Vietnam visit made by the Japan Coast Guard and the second by the ship. Vietnam's Marine Police and Japan's Coast Guard are members of the Regional Cooperation Agreement on combating piracy and armed robbery against ships in Asia. They have been closely coordinating in improving marine law enforcement capacity.
The ad hoc communities of the Vietnamese and Cambodian government have agreed to continue directing relevant authorities to carry out the search and repatriation of Vietnamese martyrs' remains while seeking more information from local people.
At a meeting in Ho Chi Minh City on July 25th, participants heard that as many as 748 sets of remains of Vietnamese experts and volunteers have been repatriated from Cambodia during the 2015 to 2016 dry season. Deputy Minister of Defense Lieutenant General Lê Chiêm, who is head of Vietnam's ad hoc committee, said the result was attributable to the close cooperation between two countries. He noted that Vietnam highly appreciates Cambodia's Special Task Committee's guidance and efficient operation in the search and repatriation of the remains of Vietnamese soldiers who laid down their lives during wartime in Cambodia. Meanwhile, Deputy Head of the Cambodian Ad Hoc Committee, Siang Lapres, expressed his belief that such coordination between two governments will bring further positive results in the time to come.
Vietnam's central bank said the interest rate will continue to be stable over the remaining months of the year. More details coming up next.
The State Bank of Vietnam said the move was made as there has been some concern about an interest rate hike coming soon. Though deposit interest rates increased slightly in the first months of the year, the lending interest rate remains relatively stable. After rising by roughly 0.2 to 0.3% per year in the first quarter, the interest rate has been adjusted down slightly since April. State-owned commercial banks and some joint-stock commercial banks have adjusted down their lending rate by 0.5% per year for short-term loans. The rate for medium and long-term loans in production and business sectors has been also capped at a maximum of 10% per year. The central bank affirmed that it will continuously instruct commercial banks to balance their mobilized capital source and lending capital source to stabilize deposit interest rates in the remaining months of the year.
July's consumer price index rose 0.13% against June, 2.39% increase year-on-year, and 2.48% rise compared to December 2015.
The General Statistics Office reported on July 24th the average consumer price index, or CPI, for the first 7 months of this year increased 1.82% from the same period last year. An upward trend was seen in 5 out of 11 goods and service groups, including transport, housing and construction materials, beverage and cigarettes, and home appliances. Meanwhile, the restaurant, food catering, post and telecommunications groups saw prices dropping. The General Statistics Office said the growth of July CPI was due to increases in fuel prices and train tickets. Meanwhile, hot weather also drove up prices of water and electricity. The scorching summer also pushed up the prices of some cooling products such as air conditioners, fridges, and electric fans. During the month, gold prices fluctuated with the world's gold prices and hit nearly $40 million, equivalent to $1,800 per tael at a time, but then quickly dipped and remained stable at around $36 million per tael. The Vietnam dong US dollars exchange rate remains stable at 22,300 Vietnam dong per US dollar. The office also anticipated that the CPI of August will grow slightly due to rising prices of health services, school fees, and school supplies.
The northern province of Nguyen Phu has attracted $3.43 billion in foreign direct investment, with 222 projects by mid-July. The figure was released by the Provincial Investment Promotion Agency.
Although ranking third among the locality's largest foreign investors, Japan takes the lead in capital disbursement, business operation efficiency, and contribution to local budget. Japan is running 26 projects valued at over $786 million in Nguyen Phu. Since their establishment in Vietnam, Honda Motor Company Limited and Toyota Motor Vietnam Company Limited have contributed more than $6 billion to the state budget while creating jobs for thousands of locals with stable incomes. Nguyen Phu Province has recently granted investment certificate for Japan's Sumitomo Corporation to develop infrastructure of the 213-hectare Thang Long Nguyen Phu Industrial Park. Once completed, the park will attract 79 secondary investment projects from Japan with a total registered capital of $1.5 billion and draw 25,000 local workers. In a bid to lure more investments, the province has paid heed to improving local business climate, attracting resources for development while building essential infrastructure, enhancing vocational training quality, mapping a plan for urban development, and facilitating administrative procedures for investors are also given top priority. Furthermore, the province has held talks with FDI businesses to promptly tackle the difficulties.
And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.